Hello, Canadian Baptists. Today is June 29th, and I just want to take a second to wish all of you a very happy Canada Day. Just two announcements for this week. One is to remember our upcoming conversation on race and diversity. We have two sessions on July 8th, one at 10 o'clock and one at 7:30 p.m. So I hope that you'll be a part of those conversations. As well, Camp Kwasind is launching on July 6th some of their summer activities. So make sure that you follow their YouTube channel as well so you can make sure that you don't miss anything. This week we're going to hear from one of our churches that is taking advantage of this new stage 2 and reopening church buildings. So I hope you have a chance to listen to the story and that your church family is enjoying getting back together. I'm here with Pastor Brian Horrobin from First Baptist Church Wallaceburg, and he's going to share with us a little bit of what it means to be going back into the church building and seeing one another again in person. So hello, Brian, and thanks for meeting with us today.
Good afternoon. Great to be here.
Hi.
Very excited to be here.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your church has been doing in the last couple of weeks now that Ontario has moved into stage 2.
Well, actually, we were anticipating for a while, even when we first went on, March 22nd was our first online service. We did live stream on the 15th while we were still in house, but so we kind of had the end from the beginning already thought about. So we've been thinking about this day for a while. So, but when it started getting closer, we knew it was going to be, the sanctions were going to be lifted. We started doing things like ordering hand sanitizer, having discussions over email, mostly, with what do we need to do as far as the church setup, like blocking off certain pews for social distancing. What are we going to do about children's programming? What are we going to do about seniors? This kind of thing, even to the point like how many are they going to allow us to have when they first opened? That was before we knew it was going to be the 30% capacity thing. So these discussions were kind of ongoing through email, mostly, some on the phone too, with the direct leadership. But like I said, we started ahead of time, knowing the day was going to come. We would need to be ready for. I even ordered like pre-done communion cups, so be ready for that. So it was good that there was dialogue and everyone was involved in it with our leadership. Like it wasn't just I had some ideas, but a couple of my leaders said, "Oh, I think this is a better idea," and it was a better idea. So I was really glad that there were several people involved in the discussion.
So what kinds of things have you done differently? You mentioned the communion cups, but how have you managed for children's ministry, and how are you taking care of the seniors in your community?
So we've been doing a pre-recorded online service that, quote, goes live. It's pre-recorded at our normal church service time at 10:45 a.m. on Sunday. We've been doing that the whole time since March 22nd. We're continuing to do that because a number of our people aren't ready to come back yet. And that helps our seniors, some of them who aren't feeling comfortable coming back yet. So that runs. Then also we realize that 30% of our capacity is about 100 people. We could put more than that if we use our balcony. We're blocking off our balcony, and we blocked off non-essential areas of the church that people don't need to be in, just to minimize the sanitation situation. So we've gone to 2 services, actually. Instead of one service at 10:45, we have a 9 a.m. and an 11 a.m. service. We did a phone blitz. Myself and the other leaders phoned everybody in the church, like whether members or adherents or anyone that we know attends our church at any time, and told them, here's what we're doing. We're opening up on Father's Day. So we didn't open up that very first Sunday. We wanted to have a chance to really get the word out and be prepared. So we told them ahead of time, it's going to be Father's Day. Here's the 2 services. Can you tell us what service you're coming at? Because we want to make sure we weren't top heavy in one service. We also assured them, if you're not comfortable coming back, by all means, continue to watch the online service. We're going to continue to provide that indefinitely. We're going to keep monitoring this type of thing. So if you're not ready, that's okay. Do what's comfortable, but we want you to know that the church will be open. We also ask people not to come earlier than 15 minutes before. And we also told them when we leave, you need to leave right away so our sanitation people can do the sanitizing. That was more for the 9 a.m. service because sanitizing needed to be done between the 2 services. What have I left out there? So we also had people in line to meet you at the door. Like before, we have a canopy, which is nice over our front entrance. So if it's bad weather, there's plenty of room there. So we had people that were equipped with wearing masks and gloves with hand sanitizer, that everyone got hand sanitizer on their way in. We have an usher that's, showed them to this sanctuary. All the doors were propped open, so no one had to open doors. The pews were already pre-roped off, so we had every other pew open. Our church is in 3 sections, so we had that. So please sit in a pew that's not roped off. We didn't have X's or something painted on the pew or marked on the. We just asked, if you're a family, you can sit together. If you're not, please observe a 2-meter social distance. We did have a couple of people that challenged us on that, which are ushers. That was their job. We weren't going to take up any offering. There was offering plates at both entrances to the sanctuary where people could put their offering. We didn't take up an offering. There was an announcement they can do it there on their way out or on their way in, and most people did it on their way in. It was very orderly. We also had an exit strategy, so kind of like what a wedding would do. Instead of everyone just mobbing out, we started with the back pews first, so that people didn't have to pass by, that kind of thing. So went very orderly. The earlier service, so we opened up last week for the first time. We had 25 in the 9 a.m. service. We had 52 in the 11 o'clock. And then I counted about 88 to 90 of our people who would normally be here that were not here on Sunday. So we're either online or watching another better preacher who had an online service in town. So anyway, so a little more than half of our people really were not in the service yet. So still people are a little bit cautious, reticent about coming back. Right? We're expecting more people this week with a wait and see after that first Sunday. Okay, it went smoothly, good. In fact, some people have already called me who weren't here last week, said, what service do you want me to come to? So I've been saying, please come to the 9 a.m. one, because of course I'm trying to spread them out a bit.
That all sounds pretty good, but I also want to know, how did it feel to actually be back in the building and having people in front of you?
It was wonderful. I've been able to get used to preaching into an iPhone in my office. Actually, we don't tape the services in my sanctuary. We do it in my office in my nice wingback chair with my bookshelf behind, more of a pastoral look. But it was really nice to have live people in there. The second service, I ran in and said, we're back in the building, and people cheered. And some of our people were actually, 2 or 3 of our older people were very emotional, actually weeping. They said it felt so, I can't describe it. And they even said, I feel silly crying, but I know the church isn't the building, it's the people, but there's something about being in this place and gathering again. And it was very precious to be back actually having a live service again, no doubt about it.
Well, a home is so much more than just a building, right? It's the people that make it home, but yes, the home is still meaningful.
That's right, absolutely. And I think our people knew that. Part of me, I guess the optimist part of me thought there might be more people ready to come back. I mean, you've been out for 3 months, you're desperate to get back. And some of our people, were desperate. Some people pestered me regularly. Any idea when we're coming back? I said, hey, listen, I can't go against what the premier's saying, but once we get the green light, we're doing it. So as soon as he made that announcement, then people were contacting me and said, yes, Father's Day, you can go to the bank with this. We're definitely going to be open. Come what may. So there was people that were very excited and eager, posting on social media, I can't wait, 3 days to go, 2 days to go, tomorrow's the day, stuff like that.
It's always a good thing when people are that excited to get into church.
Definitely, it sure is, yeah.
Yeah, certainly the pandemic has made us appreciate things that we have never appreciated before. Yes,
and that was one of the main things I was praying for during the pandemic. And when we were online, I would come to this empty building by myself. Most days I was at the church all by myself. I didn't work from home. I worked from my office. No one's here. But I was praying for people to have a longing to be with God's people together in community again, and not settle for I was thanking God for the online service, but I was praying that people would not settle for that and get comfortable and then think, oh, something, it's raining today, I think I'm just going to catch the service online. Like, this is where when going forward, are we going to continue some sort of an online thing? Because as you probably know, many of our pastors in the CBOQ have been testifying that their audience has widened greatly since this. We would fall into that category as well.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Some people who've never set foot in the church have been tuning in online, even from just different parts of the world as well.
Yes, we're fine. In fact, I just sent a mailing out last week. I have a couple that's followed me faithfully every week from Cheshire, England. There's a connection to a connection to a connection to my family from years ago, but they found out about it and they're loving it. They said their services are very different than what I'm offering or our church is offering. And I mailed them a whole package of materials that they wanted. They're voracious readers and they want to know more. And so that was kind of cool.
Definitely. That's brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and we'll be checking back in, I'm sure, to find out, what comes next and what things that you learn, and hopefully we can share some of the stuff that you gain with our other churches so that we can all benefit from it.
Great. Appreciate Jacqueline to ask me to be on here. And again, we're just one beggar showing another beggar where to find food. So we're groping through the darkness ourselves, but God has been teaching us on the fly. And I want to share one other quick thing. I thought, and this is, I guess, is the pessimist part of me, when we first went online and out of the building, I thought, oh no, our offerings are going to tank. And we have a PayPal button, which I never mentioned. Quite frankly, I forgot we even had it on our website, but people were so faithful. We dubbed Tuesday as Tithing Tuesday. People could come by the church on Tuesday and drop tithes off. Some of them dropped them off at my house. Some mailed it a check. We have a pre-authorized giving. Some more people signed up for that. And then the PayPal button. We also had people from our online audience who aren't even members of this church gave, and some of them gave generously, Jacqueline. Like, we actually have done better financially in 2020 than we did in 2019. And 2019 was a good year for us. So that was a surprise. We have a community meal that we do once a month, and I just got just today another anonymous cash donation someone dropped off for $2,000. I'm actually way over budget for the rest of the year for our community meal, and a lot of just outside people. Like, I can't explain that except God. God is good.
Definitely. Well, that's incredible. So thank you so much for sharing, Brian.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Jacqueline.
So thanks so much for listening to the story, and we'll see you again next week.